All right, next I'm going to do the Houston Texans at the Las Vegas Raiders. Uh, this game was pretty much dominated by Josh Jacobs. I'm a big believer in Josh Jacobs. He had a bad year last year. I think he was playing hurt the entire year. Also, his offensive line was banged up the entire year. This year, their offensive line's playing better. They're still banged up, but they're playing a lot better. I think they're going back to their roots and what works best for them. They're giving Josh Jacobs the ball a lot, and they're giving Devontae Adams the ball a lot. Devontae had 90 yards, and Josh Jacobs had 20 for 143, averaged 7.2 yards a carry. Excuse me, Devontae had 95 without a touchdown, and Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdowns. Derek Carr had no interceptions, 21 for 27 with a 77% completion percentage. Uh, what a great game by the Raiders. The beginning of the year, my biggest mistake I did, and when I picked my game or my standings was the Denver Broncos. Maybe I was playing Homer a little bit, but a lot of people had them at least having a winning record. Um, I thought the Chiefs were going to take a step back because of losing Tyreek, in which they have but haven't. They're still as dominant as they were before, but they have lost that element to their game. But I will say MVS stepped up last game. He had 111 yards. But anywho, uh, Houston has usually played up to the competition. They have come back on some teams, and when they lost, it usually hasn't been by a whole lot. So Damian Pierce had 90 yards. Davis Mills had 300, but he had an interception, and the Raiders kept capitalizing on their mistakes. And it seemed like every time they had the ball, Josh Jacobs was breaking off for another big run. I think the one thing that's going to hold the Raiders back is their defense, but at least their offense is clicking on all cylinders. I could see this team getting up to 8 or 9 wins. I definitely think they're hot right now. If they mold together more and more as the season progresses and give the ball to Josh Jacobs 20 times a game like they did this game, I think that more likely than not they're going to win the game. They almost beat the Chiefs the other week. They're 2-1 in their past 3 games. The one loss losing to the Chiefs by 1 point. I think the Raiders are legit. Texans are the Texans. They don't really have any skill players. Damian Pierce is carrying that team right now to be even. Damian Pierce and Lovie Smith is that entire team. They don't have any defenders. That Derek Stingley is about the only guy that's worth anything on that defense. And offensively, Brandon Cooks has not been great. He's been a so-so receiver, I would say, but not a number one for sure. But Raiders turning it around. I definitely like what I'm seeing from their offense.